So in this video we'll be going over royalty trusts. So these are diminishing assets, right? Usually they are in the oil industry and they pump out oil on a piece of land that they typically own. But as they pump out the oil, the land value decreases as the oil reserves go down, right? And so what you usually have is this huge decrease in value because the assets go down, and they're legally forced to pay out about 90 to 100% of their income. And so what you have is this massive dividend typically, while this huge decrease in asset value. And so this is CHKR, which is a typical oil trust. And so here's a big list of a lot of these royalty trusts. You can see some of them pay out 32%, which is CHKR, BPT 14%, and all these. So, but usually in the dividend will pay out more than the decrease, right? So one thing you have to consider if you're looking to invest in these, right, is you have to realize you're going to have this huge decrease in value. But it's really great for those who are looking for a nice quarterly dividend or a nice cash flow, right? And I think a misconception though is this, that most people come up with, is that they always go downhill, but that's not the case, right? If you look and if you really take this like in a smart approach, sometimes they won't even move all too much, right? This is only 13% over 889 days, while the dividend pays out maybe 16% over 1 quarter, right? Or 2 quarters. So this would have been a very massively profitable piece, right? Another one, BBT. This one has actually gone up massively from its low to right now, 150% over 931 days, while paying out this fat dividend that's been increasing steadily. Now this is due because of US oil increase in value during the same time period. As you can see, 2016 was the low point, and since really rebounds since then. And it has, lost value if you look at it, right? I mean, oil is not quite at the level it used to be. But if you look at BBT, it's really not at the level it used to be. So it has lost value compared to compared to the price of oil. But if you had predicted that US oil would have gone up during this time period, it could have been a very profitable investment. So when you're looking, if you want to invest in a oil royalty trust, what you want to look at is what oil is doing at the moment, right? If you're buying oil at a high price, it won't stay at that point, because production of oil is eventually going to adjust and push the price back down, right? So what you want to do is only buy royalty trusts either when oil is super low, right? And so oil will go up, and so the dividend of the royalty trust will go up and the price of the royalty trust will go up. So the second way you should use royalty trusts as an investment is just long-term investing, right? So buying and holding for a decade or more, and eventually, so you're writing out both the times when oil is extreme, like $140 a barrel, and also the big crashes where it's $33. And overall, you'll get the the high dividends and the low dividends, and it'll all be profitable over the long term. But again, so like for here, for example, long term, this is a monthly, so each tick is worth a month, starting from 1981. If you skip this whole like first year, which is a complete mess, it doesn't really change all too much. It's gone down, it's gone up, and now it's back down. But you're actually getting the dividend as well. So to sum it up, royalty trusts are a great way to add a passive income source to your portfolio. but because they're so volatile, according to oil prices, you shouldn't put a majority of your portfolio in these. This should be a very small position of your portfolio. Um, and if you do see an opportunity where oil prices are really low, like here in 2016, yes, maybe this would be a terrific idea. But for the majority of the time, uh, these royalty trusts are just a poor investment. They usually go down in value. The only great time is if oil is very low. And trying to predict U.S. oil for like right now, where it's in the middle, in between the high of here and the low of here. U.S. oil is a very hard commodity to predict. A lot of people say it's the hardest commodity, or you know, asset in general to predict the value of. But so for right now, royalty trusts, considering the level of 67.56, should not be invested in. Wait for maybe if it crashes down, then it would be a good investment. But otherwise, these can be really terrific investments if oil is down at a low point. But otherwise, they're very poor investment unless you're doing a long-term investment where you're holding for decades. Then it could work out. So those are my thoughts on royalty trusts. If you guys have any questions, any comments, post them in the comment section. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. I mean, I'm a pretty small YouTube channel, so any support really helps. So yeah, thanks guys.